Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriel Hernandez, and the name of my project is Packing House. The goal of my project is to lessen the financial burden on local farmers by integrating an agricultural package and distribution house with a mixed-use development all under one roof in hopes that it will bridge the gap between the urban and rural communities. The way I approach this project is by analyzing the local farmers of Spokane and found that throughout the last several years, the cost of transportation, processing, and packaging for fresh produce has increased significantly to the point where consumers are buying less fresh produce and looking at alternative sources. This hurts everyone, especially the local farmers in Spokane County who are facing a 66% decline in their profit margin, which is close to about $35,000 difference between 2012 and 2017. Due to the losing profits, farmers are being forced out of farming and selling their land for other types of development. In Spokane County alone, about 160 farmers had to stop farming between 2012 and 2017. Here's a map of Spokane County and the number of farmers that reside in it. The reason why this project works for this site is the way the site sits within significant corridors and the adjacent BNSF railway that dissects the city, state, and nation. The site is essentially easily accessible for several types of transportation and well linked to other cities and states, as you can see in the map of Washington. The development can also act as a hub for farmers from across the region to sell and distribute their products as well. The current distribution process for local farmers is to send their produce to a process and packaging facility. Then it goes to a market where the consumer purchases the product and takes it home. However, every stop, the value of the product is increasing, making the fresh fruits and vegetables more expensive and less fresh. My concept would be to integrate all the different programs into one development so there could be fewer stops, meaning the farmer sells directly to the consumer and the consumer can visually see how their produce is processed and packaged while receiving fresh goods. My design process started off by placing two masses. One is a 60% housing requirement and the other being the facility on the site. I created voids for the residential daylighting comfort and used the voids for the public courtyards and market space on the ground level. I adjusted the facility for truck circulation and accessibility. I enclosed the development with a large canopy to connect all programs but also provide year-round weather protection because Spokane sees all four seasons and sometimes the same day. I pushed and pulled to create spaces above the pub for a public observatory that peeks into the lower facility. And finally, I designed a structure out of glue lamps for efficiency and transparency. The entire structure is enclosed with glass, but has large openings at the entrance to keep the open air market feel. Here's how I laid out the programming. I made sure that regardless of their placement, they interacted one way or another. I attempted to make the entire process from when the product comes in until it leaves the facility as transparent as possible. This process is generally behind walls and left unseen for the general public, but I wanted to express it because it could be an exciting experience to see how our treatment of our produce happens. And this is how the form came to life through an aerial render. We can see the connection between the residential and the facility, as well as the market space. In my site plan, I try to demonstrate how the trucks move in and out, as well as how the development is accessible from all parts of town. As you can see, the moves made inside are able to bleed out into the urban fabric. In my section, I'm trying to demonstrate the entire process from the beginning to end, where the produce comes in via train, gets processed and packaged with complete transparency, then sold through the open air market. And with the on-site dining, visitors can have fresh meals daily. Finally, for those who live there, can have access to inexpensive produce at all times of the year on the ground level. Since my roof is my dominating element, I made sure that you experience it at all levels. In this case, you're above it, meaning you can see below and see into the facility. Here you're within it, so you can see the underneath at a close proximity. And here you're beneath it, so on the courtyard and residential level, you feel different experiences at all scales. The way this all works together is through a column and structural CLT. The glue lamp structure rests on the columns and the structural CLT panels. The panels all sit within each other and stack upon each other and lay until they reach the column. This way they're able to distribute the weights effectively and efficiently. So in conclusion, I believe that my project is able to bring together the urban and rural communities by providing all these vastly different programs under one roof, not just to lessen the financial burden on farmers, but provides transparency that is not normally expressed in the agricultural world. In a program like this, I think everybody wins, the consumer and the farmer. Thank you for listening.